Do you have some of these older cameras laying around? I have this old Panasonic HDC TM700. I bought it when one of my kids was born. And then I also have a more recent knockoff of the GoPro camera, this little small one right here. They both have HDMI inputs or outputs, but they're different size cable connections as shown here. I'm going to use these HDMI capture cards to connect the HDMI outputs of these cameras to my USB ports. They're less than $15 nowadays. Considering that I'm doing screen recording, I'm not that worried about the reliability. They're no-name device. If you want to go top of the line, you'd get one of these from Blackmagic, a Blackmagic capture card, but they're running over $500 for 4 inputs. So that's about $125 per input, and you can get individual inputs for around $125 that are probably more reliable than these. But at $15, I buy a few of them. So here in OBS, I need to add my camera sources, and I have a blank screen. Down here on the left, I have scenes, and this is going to be a new scene. And here I have sources. There are no sources in here right now, and I have to add them. I go down here for the plus. I'm going to add a camera. First, I'm going to add this camera that I'm using now to record, which is a Galaxy Note 4. It's an old cell phone, but the picture quality is excellent. So, video capture device, and I'm going to name this Note 4. And I need to choose the correct camera. Now, the camera that just popped up, that's actually my Logitech C910 camera, which is my standard webcam that I use for my webcam calls and such. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to pick one of these, this iVCam connection, and there we go. Oh, that's a much better picture. And you can see that I have a preview here, and you can see my green screen behind me because I haven't cropped it yet, but I will. So I click OK, and now I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to crop it by clicking on the Alt key. I'm going to frame it down around me and my green screen. There we go. So now I can be seen, and well, I'm looking at this camera here, and I can add my green screen filter. So I'm going to add it straight to the camera. I click on the Note 4, and I can click on filters here. I'm going to add a filter, and it's called ChromaKey. Just leave it named ChromaKey is fine. And you'll see that now it's just gray and it's completely removed it. Now, it's the automatic setting, especially if you have one of these green screen, green cloths behind you, will probably do you just fine. But you can do a lot of customization. And I will make a video to customize the green screen removal. And once I post it, it'll be linked right up here or down below. So I'm going to click on close, and there we go. So I can move this anywhere in my screen that I want. So now I'm going to add another camera. I'm going to add the Logitech C910, the webcam, so that I can show you how that's done. And click on video capture device and Logitech C910. Okay, and there it is. Click on that, and I'm going to add the green screen to this as well. Chroma key. Now you'll see here there's a little bit of bleed around the back of me. So I'm going to play with some of these settings here. Turn that down just a little bit or up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So now I have these two cameras running, and let's just put this right next to me. All right, let's add one of the two video cameras. Plus, and video capture device. And this one I'm going to call my Panasonic HD video camera. And it's going to be one of these two USB video inputs. And is it this one? Let's see, did I get it right? I got the right one. So that is the camera that's pointing down at my table here. I'm going to click on OK, and I have this down here. Now the beauty about using this camera, is that I can zoom in and out using the zoom on the camera itself and get a nice HD picture. You'll see this blocking everything, so let me go here and grab it and just drag it down below the other two cameras. There we go. I'm going to add my last camera, video capture device. There we go, and this is the xTreme. I'm going to label it a wide camera. And pick on USB video. That's the other one. It's going to be one of them. There we go. Click OK. Now this one has some extra information that I don't want to show, like this stuff up here and on the bottom. So I'm going to hold down Alt and crop that in. And if it's too much on the sides, I can also crop these in, because I don't really need to see both keyboards of the two different computers. I just want it to be here, and now that it's there, I can make it larger if I want to. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm going to bring that one to the back. And you know, I just noticed here, this camera, it looks like it's upside down. Well, it is, because it's on a tripod that is holding it upside down to this view. So I'm going to right-click on this one. Let's just make sure I'm on the right one, Panasonic. I'm going to right-click on it and transform and rotate it 180 degrees. So now it seems like it's right side up. There we go. So that's all 4 cameras. And I can manipulate this one so I make it smaller. And then I can bring this one in so it can be seen over here. So this is the close-up one. Let's move myself over here. There we go. I'll move this over here. So that's the wide one, and this is the more close-up one. Let's crop that. Let's make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on it on my pad. Refocus it a little bit. There we go. So now I can be writing on this pad with a Sharpie or anything else, and I can be doing my work. I'm going to get rid of those two things there, and I can make this a lot tighter. I don't need the whole frame there. Here we go. One big thing that I haven't added yet is that none of these cameras do I have the microphones activated. So I'm going to need to add an audio input. And I have this microphone here. It's an Electro-Voice RE20 running through an adapter so that it can hear me. It's a pretty good microphone. I need to add the audio input so that I have that. So I'm going to do audio input capture. EV-RE20, that's the input. That's the microphone. And I'm going to choose the microphone blue Icicle is the adapter that I'm using in order to get the audio into the computer. Click on that one and click OK. And there it is right there. And you can see here the green lines going up and down. The other ones I don't have on. As a matter of fact, just in case, I'm going to mute them all because I don't need those inputs. And in fact, I can even click on the gear and hide them because I don't need to see them. Okay, so now I have this scene that has all of my gear that I'm using right at this moment. I'll be adding some more stuff in a while. So I click on plus for scene. Actually, I'm going to right-click on the scene, and I'm going to click on duplicate. Okay, just scene 2. I can rename them later. Now in this scene, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the Logitech because I don't need it. Okay, it's gone. But if I go back to scene 1, it's there. Scene 2, it's gone. So I can move my head around to wherever I want, and I can also reposition my workspace. So let's make this one nice and big, because this is the one I want to have as a close-up for my students or clients to look at while I'm doing my work. And that's the Panasonic. The other one I don't actually need here. But before I do anything, I'm going to duplicate this. And we're going to make this scene 3. So in scene 2, I have the Panasonic nice and close. And I'm going to delete this one. And in scene 3, I'm going to delete the Panasonic. So as I go through my scenes, I can be working scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, so I can give a wide view of the entire workspace. I can go back to scene 2, and I can use the keyboard, the arrows on my keyboard, to go up and down between the two. You notice the color difference between this one and this one here? That's because the Panasonic takes more light, and I need to adjust the lighting on it a little bit. So now that we have this all set up, we're going to start a Zoom meeting. New meeting, and this is what it looks like with my regular camera here. And I'm going to go down, let's get rid of this one. I'm going to start recording this. and I'm going to place the recording right up here so you can see what the Zoom people see. I'm going to go here and change my camera from my current Note 4, which is through iVCam. We talked about that. And I'm going to change it to OBS camera. I lied. We're going to change it to OBS virtual camera. I have an old driver installed, so it saw that. You probably won't have that. And you can see the OBS symbol here. So now I need to go back into OBS, and down here in the lower right corner, there's a button that says Start Virtual Camera. So I click that. This is what I'm sending out, and I'm not going to share the screen anymore because now OBS is doing all that for me. Here in OBS, let me move that out of the way. Here in OBS, I can change my scene. So I have my cameras, and I have my close-up camera, and I have my wide-angle camera. This window, by the way, over here could, instead of showing these other cameras, could show a Chrome browser or a Firefox browser or Safari, whatever browser you want. That's in another video. Or video, you can feed videos, you can do a PowerPoint, Google Slides, and so on. Anything be broadcast instead of sharing your screen. So I changed these. Now check this out with the two screens. I just wanted to point this out. Something that's cool about this is that if I want to do a close-up, the reason why I use two screens here is because if I want to do a close-up tutorial of, let's say, using this ruler, you can see the whole ruler here, but you can't see any detail. So let's zoom in on the ruler itself. Now this is the Panasonic HD camera, zooming in, a little too close, there we go. Now we can see these measurements really close up in the primary window, but we also see the entire ruler in the secondary window, the wide shot, and I can be doing small little bits of work here, and I can show somebody how to measure to the 6-inch mark, or to the 7-inch mark, and so on, and I can really get close up here and see what I'm doing. It would help if I had a sharper pencil, and the 6.5-inch, and so on, so that I can work on detail work and how it relates to the whole thing. And if, let's say, you're teaching math, you could be working on a math problem, 1/4 inch plus 3/4 equals 1, and let's say you're doing a lot of work and you just got all this other stuff, you move your pad around and you can work on the detail stuff, but here in this window somebody sees the entire thing. So that's using a couple of cameras. This is using OBS to get to zoom, and switching between cameras in these scenes. And I think in my next video I'm going to show how to add a PowerPoint show or a stream from YouTube, another window. If you like this and it was helpful, please like and subscribe and click the little bell so that you come back and you know when I'm going to do the next thing, you get notified. I have a lot of these videos that I'm making. Put comments in the comments below so that I know what it is that you need next. Ask questions. How do you use OBS in your teaching? Do you use it with Zoom? So on. Thanks for watching.